Hey, welcome back everyone. Here we are in the amazing Brecon camping, and today we're going to do this. This is beef shin ragu with pomme boulanger. The pomme boulanger has been cooked for 3 hours. The ragu has been cooked for 4 hours. I'm going in for a taste. That is some next level stuff, guys, and I'm going to show you how to cook it for yourself. Okay, hope you can see me okay. Just going through a little bit of fire building, fire lighting. This is one of my favourite techniques. The little house. Tibach, that's wrong, no. Guy Vindy Tibach. Oh, how I miss Jen Johnson. Legend of Come Dine With Me. So, it's a little house, if you like. I use some more robust wood on the outside, some thinner bits of kindling, and I've got prepared slightly bigger wood here, ready to go on. Now this is my favourite technique. Of course you can have a lighter. I've got a lighter. Where's the fun in that? This is a striker and a flint. That's magnesium you can use to make little shards if you've got damp tinder. Tinder, kids. It's not just a dating app. This is tinder. So this is my favourite tinder. This is cotton balls. Cotton balls are really useful things to take away, good for first aid and various other things. And what's on them is Vaseline. And Vaseline is also a really useful thing. Sore lips, sore bottoms. How you got a sore bottom is up to you. Could be walking a long way. I'm not here to judge. Okay, so really simple. Striker. Now I'm wearing gloves for a reason. Fire is hot, and I'm going to be picking these up once I've lit them. So I should get them with one strike. Oh, I missed. There we go. And I'm going to drop them. They're stuck together. Into the fire. He's not going. There we go. See where I'm wearing gloves now. Now that should get going nicely now, really quickly. And I'm ready with my other wood to start adding it. But don't overload your fire quickly. We've got really great conditions here. You can't see the breeze, obviously. There's a nice little breeze that's coming in, sending the smoke off in that direction. And we have got, yeah, as you can see, that's already catching really well. And this is what I mean. You can buy fire lighters, but a fire lighter is only useful for lighting fires. It stinks. It's made of horrid chemicals. This system, Vaseline is petroleum jelly, burns really well. Cotton is cotton. No big deals there, no drama. It's not going to affect the taste of your food, not going to affect your fire. It's going to get it going really well. And the reason we have this shape, the little house, essentially is just to let that air get in the early stages of the fire. There are lots of other techniques, there's little teepees and things. I've just always favoured this one, particularly when I've got pre-cut kindling, proper kindling kindling that sits nicely in the little house. I'm fairly confident we can start building on now. This fire is already going. Yeah, let's try this. I want a little bit of a better chop on this than I did yesterday. You can see how handy this is, especially for where I am out here. Sweep them into there. Beautiful. The celery that I'm going to add to my ragu. I don't really like wearing the gloves, I think I said already. It is just the simple fact that I don't have a sink to hand, and washing your hands every 5 minutes becomes quite a chore. This needs to be mega fine. Okay, welcome back. I've melted some butter. I'm going to add my onions. Now I hope they won't sizzle. And they didn't. I don't want them to sizzle. I want them, what I've just dropped them into is butter and a little oil, which is actually that coconut oil I told you about. It's quite a neutral flavour coconut oil. I think it's going to make things taste coconutty. It doesn't. I'm getting both my gloves on, because I might just move this around. Now, this is going to take some serious tending. I'm going to keep my fire quite low. And that is about as much heat as I want. And now you're gonna have to sit and watch me do this for 40 minutes. And if you leave, I'll be furious. Only joking. I'm gonna get the lid. I'm gonna pop the lid on there. And I'm just gonna keep an eye on them and listen out for them. My onions have been on for over an hour and 10 minutes now. And I've been patiently tending them. So I'll show you the fire. That's all we've got, a little fire like that. Wind's just kicked up there. But let's have a look at them. So that's what we want. See all those in. Where have they gone? Where have the onions gone? They've just completely reduced. Yeah, and now that lovely caramelised brown colour. And I can tell you they smell amazing. Yeah, a bit of a clumpy one there. Not the end of the world. All that butter in there, I'll pour that away. I definitely won't pour that away. That's going to add to the flavour of the potatoes when they go in. So the next stage, I'm going to start layering up. So there's a couple of other things I need to prep for that. And we'll get going. Okay guys, I've got my ingredients here now ready to start layering up my pomme bollinger. So I have melted butter, beef stock, my potatoes, and my reduced onions. I would normally do more onions than this, but Rob, who's come in, he is not a big fan of onions, so I've tried to keep them slightly fewer than I would normally do, but I'm fairly happy. Don't try and stick your dirty glove hand in there, John, you idiot. So, what I'm going to do is start laying them around. Put them in the water to try and get rid of most of the starch from the potatoes. They have curled, I'll let them there a little bit too long. It's not the end of the world though. We've got rustic pomme bollinger going on here. So what happens when you cook this, a lot of this stock obviously keeps the potatoes moist, but it's going to go to the bottom and essentially boil away, because obviously the heat from the fire is from underneath, and you normally cook these in an oven. Okay, I'm going to do one last layer, and I have one last ingredient, which is some thyme, but I'm not going to add that yet. Let's see if the lid is going to press them down. I don't think it is. No, but we'll get a plate and do what I said. See if that helps. This is where serendipity says the plate fits, and it does. Yeah, that's pressing them down a little as well, especially if I put a bit of weight on it. Here's my skirt. As you can see, it's grained. You can see an obvious grain in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slice along the grain, and then I'm going to cut it the other way. And I want sort of bite-sized chunks. Right, boof, boof, boof. Something in there, nothing in there. Our meat is packed away safely, away from bugs and things like that, except really determined ones, but hey, they're just going to end up in the ragu. Okay, first part of the cooking process. I've popped some oil in there. As I say, I'm using coconut oil. Most recipes tell you to use olive oil. I just say I bring this away because I find it handy to use. It doesn't end up everywhere. Popping my meat in. As you notice, I've seasoned it. I hadn't seasoned it in the other video. A nice bit of salt. Don't be scared of getting some salt on there. So don't be needy with your meat. Don't be needy. Let it sit for a bit. See, it's already picking up a nice colour. So I'm keeping it over that side because it's nice and dry that side, but it'll get a good cuisson. On the other side, what's happening is the water that's coming out, the liquid, is drum down there. You don't want your meat in that because it'll just go pasty. Oh yeah, there's some lovely brown caramelised bits in there. Yeah. I don't know how well the colour's coming through, but you saw that other bit. Most of it is like that. Right, and I'm going to want to get now my onions straight in that. So I've got my onions and garlic here. I wouldn't normally put my onions in and my garlic so quickly, but I'm just going to give them a little while to release their flavours. I'm going to take that off, because what I want to do is put some wine in that. Okay, so I'm going to end up putting half a bottle in here. This is already starting to brown up too much. So I want to cook off most of the alcohol, if not all of the alcohol. Wow, that smells amazing now. I need a bigger spoon, that's what I need, a bigger spoon. I don't know why I haven't put my gloves on for this, because I'm getting cooked hands. Let's get in there with another bit. I've added a few more ingredients. I've already put in some stock, including the leftover stock from making the pomme boulangère. I have added some tomato puree. I've added some water. Quantities of water with something like this, especially if you're cooking outside. The Dutch oven doesn't provide a particularly good seal at all, so you just want to have water at hand and you want to keep checking. What I got now, really good quality chopped tomatoes, 2 of them, bosh. And my last ingredients that are going in, other than lots of water and probably a bit more wine, some herbs from my garden. Growing vegetables is a pain in the neck. Growing herbs is really easy, and you know, you buy a pack of rosemary for one meal, it probably costs you £1. Grow some rosemary, it's really easy. I've got a bay tree in my garden, and I've got some oregano. Oregano, where am I from? Good God. Oregano in there as well, just a little bit of that. And chopped carrots from earlier. And what I need to do now again, I need to tend my fire for about 3 hours and keep that just bubbling away nicely. I'll add a bit more wine as we go. I'll definitely add more water. Hopefully that looks as good as it smells. Let's have a little try. Oh, good God. I always laugh. That tastes unbelievable already. It was about this stage that Rob arrived, my friend, and we got chatting, and I completely forgot that I was supposed to be busy vlogging some cooking in the wild. So all that is left from this stage is nice little still images of the food, which I can assure you was delicious. So the final image you can see here of the ragu just before it was served, tasted as good as it looked, gave it away to a couple of people, a lady called Gwenda and a guy called Dave with a lovely little dog called Robert. The pomme boulangère, based on the fallow recipe I've seen, which is a really good recipe, and they were absolutely stunning. Things got messy, and somehow my whiskey all evaporated away. I think it was close to the fire. And Rob, as always, carrying out what he does best, taking pictures of people that make them look lots more handsome than they really are. So that's me, guys. I'm just getting away from the campsite. It's in the background, bouncing down the bumpy trail to the road. So 2 days out, 2 nights out. First night I cooked chicken curry, skin on chicken thighs, coconut milk, honey, peanut butter, my own secret spice blend, cumin, coriander, cayenne pepper, chili, black pepper, little bit of paprika. And used my butternut squash cooked in the fire. Relatively successful. Didn't quite cook as much as I thought it was. Probably would have been safer to leave the butternut squash whole and just put it in the coals for maybe an hour and a half. But I got enough in there to add to the curry and made it nice. Had some onions in my curry, of course, some red pepper, some chilli, and I met a nice young lady called Kat who agreed she wouldn't mind a free meal, and she posted on her Instagram that it was fantastic and told me it was the best curry she'd ever had, which was a lovely compliment. Hope she wasn't just being polite. I did enjoy it myself. It was a nice curry. And then day two, I had Rob coming, and what Rob wanted was ragu, which is actually quite a nice easy thing to make when you're out camping. But I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I didn't want to just do the ragu with pasta, which is quite a traditional thing to have with ragu. So I Frenched it up. Ragu is famous for being Italian, but it's also French. Common French dish, just stew essentially. So I mixed it up with pomme boulangère that I made according to the technique from Fallow, which is a great restaurant. They have a great YouTube page, really interesting stuff. And Will Murray, I think is the name of the chef who does that video, and it's essentially it's really simple, but the tending of that essentially. So I started cooking yesterday at 11:30, caramelizing, chopping, the caramelizing of the onions on the fire, because I was so careful not to burn it to get bitterness in there. So it took me an hour and 10 minutes to get those to sort of where I wanted. And then I had that funny little problem where I'd soaked my potatoes too long and they all curled up. But my little trick, which was to pop a plate on top and weighted them down, that was fine, it worked really well. They were all in there, they were nice and snug. And I'd probably put too much stock in, to be honest, but that worked actually really well. So, you know, I'd rather be lucky than good. I think Arnold Palmer, that was one of his sayings, I'd rather be lucky than good. And another one of his sayings, the more I practice, the luckier I get. So maybe that's part of it. I do practice cooking a lot. And the pomme boulangère turned out absolutely stunning, and the ragu turned out absolutely stunning. So I really couldn't be any happier. There's nothing I made that turned into a complete disaster, which perhaps isn't as entertaining for you guys, because watch me burn myself, cut myself. Probably more fun for you, but not that much fun for me. But yeah, so I'm going to edit these all together. Hopefully we'll end up with a good video, and I look forward to posting it and hearing your comments. And as I said, the best thing anyone can do, it's not like, it's not subscribe, it's not share, it's give me ideas, guys. So I've got two ideas that people have already asked me to do. I'm going to probably do one this weekend, which is smash burgers, and I've been requested to do creme brulee, which I'm going to have to do on a campfire because I can foresee challenges there, because it's a sort of a tough temperature controlled dish. Really a simple dish, but yeah, temperature control, it's going to be a challenge. So there are things I've got in my future. There's things you've got in your future if you keep watching. And ideas, please. That's what I would like. Ideas. I mean, think of something freaking crazy, like make a croquembouche, Johnny. I'm not doing that. But yeah, think of a challenge. Don't say ice cream. I'm not sure I can do ice cream. Think of a challenge. Somebody think, what's my favourite food? I want to see if you can do that. And let's see if I can. And thank you. That's me out. GoPro, stop recording.